Greetings, my name is Christopher Ricker. I'm a New York City Parks Environmental Educator here in the Greenbelt. While spending time outdoors, all of us need to be aware of the environmental impacts that we make just by taking part in everyday recreational and leisure activities. Whether it's hiking, fishing, spending time with friends and family in the outdoors, or picnicking, all of us have different impacts on our environment and the wildlife which call these areas home. During this video, we're going to explore the 7 principles of Leave No Trace in order for all of us as land users and passionate outdoor enthusiasts to be able to minimize and understand how we play different roles in our ever-changing biotic community. Leave No Trace provides research, education, and initiatives so every person who ventures outside can protect and enjoy our world responsibly. Before we dive into the 7 principles of Leave No Trace, we're briefly going to discuss the history and framework for how and why Leave No Trace was established. In order to do so, we have to start in the year 1964. Do any of you know at home what happened in 1964 that might have impacted our outdoor spaces? Well, in 1964, the Wilderness Act was established in the United States. All across America, Americans were becoming aware that our natural resources were dwindling, and in order to protect it, we needed serious protection and legislation throughout our country's outdoor spaces. With the establishment of the Wilderness Act, and as we moved into the 1970s, Americans flocked to national parks. In some of your history classes, with the establishment of places like Yellowstone, Grand Tetons, and Yosemite, you might have seen black and white videos of lines and lines of RVs, individuals dabbing honey on their children for bears to lick off, or massive lodges where individuals were spending their summers in the 1960s and 70s. Literally during this time, outdoor professionals and rangers began talking about the idea of loving the outdoors to death. With each year and millions of new visitors, our parks were becoming overrun with garbage, wildlife was being habituated, and some of our water quality was beginning to deteriorate. With that, we began to move into the 1980s, and an organization known as NOLS, or the National Outdoor Leadership School, began taking young people into the outdoors and becoming aware of our environmental impacts. Early on in the 1980s, the director and founder of the National Outdoor Leadership School, Paul Petzel, began what was known as No Trace camping. During that time, he was teaching outdoor leaders and outdoor visitors how to minimize their impact while camping, hiking, canyoneering, and climbing in our wildlands around North America. Moving forward to the year 1988, a publication known as Soft Paths was published. Knowles developed a 75-point curriculum looking at how to minimize your impacts in natural settings while enjoying the outdoors. If we move forward to 1994, Leave No Trace, sometimes known as LNT, became incorporated as its own individual nonprofit. And today, Leave No Trace Incorporated impacts over 15 million Americans and a dozen countries through different educational programs, initiatives, and campaigns in order for all of us to be able to continue to enjoy the outdoors, protect wildlife, support natural resource management, and most importantly, spend time with friends and families and our communities in outdoor spaces. Now that we've covered the history and philosophy of Leave No Trace, I want to talk about the 7 principles of outdoor ethics that were developed by Leave No Trace in order for all of us to be able to enjoy and minimize our impact in outdoor spaces. The first principle of Leave No Trace is plan ahead and prepare. Our second principle is camp and travel on durable surfaces. Thirdly, we have dispose of waste properly. Fourthly, leave what you find. Fifth, minimize campfire impacts. Sixth, respect wildlife. And seventh, be considerate of other visitors. It's through these 7 principles that all of us will be able to continue to enjoy and protect our parks, public lands, and wild spaces for generations to come. Enjoy.